Now let's talk about one of the world's biggest tech giants, Samsung. Recently, Samsung issued a formal apology to its investors, which is indeed very rare. So what's the complete matter? Let's understand it. Samsung recently reported its quarterly profit of 6.8 billion US dollars. While you might be thinking that it's a humongous, huge amount of profit, where is the problem? Well, the problem is that experts were expecting more from Samsung and the company failed to deliver, majorly because of its semiconductor business. This crisis revolves around Samsung's inability to produce enough chips for companies like Nvidia. These chips are crucial for training AI models, and Nvidia, the biggest player in AI hardware, heavily depends on them. Samsung makes a special type of chip that is used in AI products. Companies like Nvidia, which supply processors for popular AI models like ChatGPT, use these chips to power their AI systems. So with the AI booming around the world, you would have expected Samsung to be hugely benefiting from this. However, Samsung hasn't been able to fulfill this demand. They are struggling to deliver enough chips, and because of this, Nvidia has to turn to one of Samsung's biggest competitor, SK Hynix, to fill this gap of deficiency. On top of that, Samsung is also lagging behind another major player in semiconductor industry, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC. TSMC is the world's largest chip manufacturer and is known for producing high-quality, customized chips for clients. Samsung has the potential to compete with TSMC, but so far it has fallen short. But the question is, why what's happening with Samsung such a big deal? Well, in South Korea, Samsung is not just any other company. It's called Chaebol, a huge family-controlled conglomerate that dominates country's economy. Samsung alone accounts to some 15% of South Korea's entire economy, and that's enormous responsibility for just one company. But despite its size and importance, Samsung is struggling. Its financial results have been disappointing, its stock is falling, and there have been protests by workers both in South Korea and India demanding better wages and working conditions. Last month, Samsung announced layoffs, cutting up to 30% of its workers overseas. This is another sign of the challenges that the company is facing. While AI is one of the biggest technological breakthroughs of our time, the excitement around this is starting to cool off. Big tech companies have already poured billions of dollars into AI, but the timeline for seeing returns on those investments is still uncertain. This means that tech companies, including those in AI, are starting to become more cautious with their investments. They are slowing down spendings, and that's bad news for companies like Samsung. So on one hand, Samsung is facing humongous competition from its competitors like TSMC and SK Hynix, and on the other hand, the demand for chip might shrink. In short, Samsung is in a tough spot. It's falling behind its competitors, is struggling to keep up with demand for its chips, and now facing a shrinking market. The company has promised to fix this issue and this overhauled, but the journey for Samsung ahead won't be that easy.